Hey y'all, Boogie Knight here, how's it going? And we're gonna switch it up a little bit tonight. I was actually going to sit down and record my review of A Cure for Wellness, but as soon as I tried to come up with a decent few lines and analysis of how I was going to work things, my brain completely flatlined and crapped out. Honestly, I'm not surprised. The past few weeks have been very chaotic, very stressful, and on top of that, for the past 4 nights, I have had a wicked case of insomnia. Yes, my Team Insomnia t-shirt is not meant to be ironic. It actually is an ongoing thing. So I figured, let's do something a little more low effort and have a little bit of fun. Wang Chung would be pleased. So, that being said, I've had a lot of questions since this project started from friends, family, colleagues, social media, private messages, blah, 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 blah. So, in no particular order, I wrote down 10 of them, and the ones I have received electronically are actually written verbatim, so there'll be a good laugh. So, we're going to do a little something I'm going to call 10 questions with the Boogie Knight. And if this is something you like, let me know, ask me some more questions, and I'll try it again. So, without further ado, I'm going to get started. So, first off, we can't get any more direct than that. The hat, question mark, at symbol, exclamation point. Well, can't leave home without it. I love this hat. I'm guessing that question is probably like, how in God's name did I come up with the trilby? Well, I wore a trilby on the very first review I ever did for London Has Fallen with Greg, and I don't know, I really like this trilby. I really like trilbies in general. I mean, I guess if I had to pinpoint it, Neosonic and he and I, whenever we would get together and go out, he would always have a trilby on. He would always kind of have something like that, and despite his wife's constant nagging and being like, that's not really that good, he still wore it, and it honestly looked good on him, and I'm thinking, you know, I could pull it off. Or I think I could pull it off. I think I kind of pull it off. That's up to you. I know there's people that break my balls about it. So, just on a whim, I threw it on for my first review with Greg, and despite it being too small for my head, I thought it didn't look too bad, and just some constructive feedback, I bought a larger trilby, and boom, there you go. There it is right there. So, love this hat. Next question. How did you come up with the name Boogie Knight? Now, I know there are some people that are probably thinking he's ripping off Boogie 2988. First of all, no, I'm not ripping off Boogie 2988. Honestly, I admire the hell out of him. I think he's a fantastic, I call him an armchair philosopher because I haven't actually seen any of his gaming videos, but I subscribe to him. But like I said, I didn't even know who he was until after I started this project. The origin behind the name The Boogie Knight was a couple years ago when I moved here. I was singing and performing in numerous bands, and one of them was a blues band. We did maybe about half a dozen gigs before enough was enough, but the drummer, in all of his weirdness, decided at one gig he wanted to give us all nicknames, and then finally he goes, and on vocals, we got the Boogie Knight. He's gonna lay down some bass lines and some dope rhymes. And at that point, I wanted to turn around and, you know, shove his face in his drum kit. And there was much laughter about it, and I was pretty much shame-orbed for the rest of the evening. But to be honest, as time wore on, I'm like, you know, that doesn't sound too bad. I mean, when I lived in D.C., I was known as the snowman because I was pasty white, and I loved it when it was cold outside. I have the tables I've turned down here. So I adopted the nickname Boogie Knight, and it kind of stuck, and I don't mind it so much. So, next question. How did you come up with the name Sonic Boogie? Well, another nickname for you with going back to the days of Neosonic. So, it was, God, I want to say late winter of last year, I guess. We had just finished up an event for my company, my day job, and Neosonic and his wife were there, and other people. We had finished up probably around 10 o'clock, and we went back to his joint and sat around by his fire pit till about 1 o'clock in the morning and had a little drink, had a lot of drink. And I told him about how I wanted to do this project, and I didn't just want to call it the Boogie Knight. I just said, I want to come up with a name. And I was hoping for kind of something we would do as a joint project together out of the gate. I mean, work happens, life happens, things happen. He's going to come back around soon, I hope. But I'm like, let's come up with a good name. And I was already known as the Boogie Knight at that point. He told me about his first production company before he landed his current gig was called Neosonic something or other. And I'm like, Sonic Knight? No, that sounds too much like a Sega ripoff. Bing! Sonic Boogie. And it worked. And I'm going to keep up with it. So, thanks for your question. Do you like reviews or Let's Plays more? Honestly, not to sound like a cop-out, I like both of them equally for different reasons. I love praising a good movie or bashing a really horrible movie, as you know I'm apt to do. And Let's Plays, or I guess I should probably say Let's Look Ats, because that's all I've really done so far, samples of different video games, going back to demos and the first 4 episodes of something like Dark Souls or the Slender game. I like it for different reasons because I like talking about different things and giving people an idea of what to look for in a video game, if that's something you want to do. I don't want to play the game all the way through because it kind of, to me, if this is something you really want to invest in, you want to have just a taste of it. So I like them for different reasons, and I guess if I had to, I would say 51% reviews, 48% Let's Look At, and then of course the remaining 1% being off the rails. But that's actually something I'm going to tap into later on, but not tonight. That's for a different day. Thanks for your question. Your biggest inspirations. Not sure if that question was meant for this project or altogether. So I'm going to answer both of them truthfully. In real life, and for everything in general, my brother. The biggest inspiration for me, bar none. I love the man. He's been a unspoken hero and inspiration throughout my life. But that's beside the point. For this project, I would say for the Sonic Boogie reviews part, obviously, as I've said numerous times, the Cinema Snob, Team Snob, Midnight Screenings. They were kind of my biggest inspiration. Like, if these people can sit in a car and riff movies or praise them, I think I stand a chance at doing this and not looking too much like an idiot. Though that always remains to be seen. I still think I look like an idiot from time to time. But on the Let's Look At side, first and foremost, I'm going to say Northern Line. His plays of Dark Souls, Binding of Isaac, more recently GeoGuessr with Sinvicta. And tied for second place, I would say CJU Games and Lady Lilia were definitely, those are my top 3. And I watch them as much as I possibly can, not just because it's inspiring for me and gives me ideas of kind of what to look at next or how to, kind of explain things with a little more clarity. They're just fun and funny. So, there you go. Thanks for your question. What is your favorite movie? American Commando 3 by Godfrey Ho. No, I'm just kidding. I'm not that big of a whore for Godfrey Ho. No pun intended. Honestly, my favorite movie, I would say, has got to be Casablanca. The Humphrey Bogart, Ingrid Bergman, Claude Rains movie going back to the 1930s, 40s, I guess? 40s probably, yeah, because it was during World War II. Once again, guys, my mind is a little bit shot. But I remember in elementary school being homesick for whatever reason. I would get sick maybe once a year, twice a year. And Mom would go to Blockbuster. Yes, remember Blockbuster Video, kids? Well, if you're an 80s, 90s kid, hell yes. And getting it on VHS, and just, I loved watching it. I loved Humphrey Bogart's cynicism. I loved how he went from being the hardcore cynic to the backstory to the reblossoming romance to giving him kind of a repurpose for life and a new focus to fight. And this is going to sound really, not poignant, but really kind of maudlin, but that's kind of how I describe myself. It's particularly right now. I mean, I'm a hardcore romantic, got a love for life and everything, but right now I am so cynical And last year, probably around the same time, I was incredibly cynical. And whether it's someone or something that gives me that fire to repurpose and revamp my life, I just loved that idea. And I've got it on regular DVD, and I've got it on the huge anniversary box set, right down to the fact it's tied with ribbon, it's got coasters, it's got bonus features. I have watched that numerous times, and I can't say enough about it. I love Casablanca, and anything Humphrey Bogart does just turns to gold and rainbows in my book. So, thanks for your question. Can we expect some more collabs soon? As I said back in my What's Going On for 2017 video, I would love to do some more collaborations. I think they're more fun if you sit down with somebody, watch a movie together, you can bounce ideas off each other. I had a blast with Greg doing our, geeky, bromance reviews and just having fun with him and just being stupid. And the reviews I had with Neo Sonic, it was two movie buffs that could bounce stuff off with each other and have a conversation and just be stupid. And the review I did with The Inconceivable, well, I didn't watch very Disney movies, but this kind of took, I wouldn't say kids movies, but young adult movies, because let's face it, Kubo and the Two Strings, which is also a favorite of mine, and even Moana, it has that balance. So it kind of gave me a new insight to other stuff and be able to just, once again, have a separate opinion that's not just your own. You're not just giving a monologue while people's eyes glaze over. It's two people having an honest conversation. So I would love to be able to do some more collabs soon. Get Neo Sonic back in here. Next time Greg's in town, get him in here. Get my other buddy, we'll get Titanium in here. We'll get the dude, Guido, numerous people to help me out with this. It's a blank canvas, and I want to do more for that for 2017. So, thanks for your question. You have a self-deprecating sense of humor. Is that a question, or is that just a statement about me in general? I'll take it as both, yes. I do have a very self-deprecating sense of humor. Not just that, I've got a very dry sense of humor. And trust me, I've been called out 6 ways from Sunday from everybody, to friends, to family, to colleagues, about that. And honestly, while people have called me to task on it, it's just me joking around. I have a high sense of self-esteem. I'm confident in my abilities. I am confident in who I am as a person. But that doesn't mean that I can't make fun of myself. If I can't make fun of myself, then, what's the point? If you can't have fun with life, then the rest of your day sucks. So it's just a part of who I am. It's a dry thing going on. I have no problem doing it. But once again, it's just me joking. I'm not going to go sit in the corner of my room sobbing while listening to Simple Plans. I'm sorry, I can't be perfect. Actually, no, right now I have 6 a.m. and Killswitch Engage Brother queued up my CD player. So, hey, yo! Hope that's what you were looking for. And if not, well, please clarify. Thanks for your question. What game are you most looking forward to in 2017? Well, that should be easy. Agony. As I did the demo both once and twice for Sonic Boogie Plays, for Sonic Boogie looks samples, I mentioned that I pledged to their Kickstarter campaign. I have seen the YouTube clips. I have seen a lot of stuff. I get the emails from them saying when more clips are coming out, overall release date. I cannot wait for that game to come out. Not just because I have a very weird and sick sense of humor, but because it establishes a new breed of video game and of the horror genre. We've seen changes to the survival horror genre with Amnesia, Outlast, the most recent Resident Evil. It's not just turned into a bug hunt or just I'm creeping around in the dark, this has an honest element that's so far the only games that I've seen recently that have the actual survival element of survival horror are indie games nobody really knows of unless you look at some of the lesser known gamers or the lesser known websites like Itch.io or Game Jolt and come up with these and play them. So Agony is going to set the bar for that, and if you couldn't tell how about bubbly I am, this is something I've been looking forward to for a while. And yes, I will do a solid playthrough of Agony when it comes out, and I'm hoping Harkov will too, because I actually have 2 game codes coming up for Harkov, one for me, one for him, just because sharing is caring. So thanks for your question. And last but not least, why does everyone have a nickname? Honestly, why not? I go by the Boogie Knight. Neosonic's Neosonic. We were still cultivating nicknames when Greg came out to do the project with me. Obviously, other friends, Redheaded War Bitch, Cat No Hat, The Inconceivable, blah, blah, blah. It's just for fun. Why not? We're not trying to mask identities. If not, I'd be like Todd in the Shadows and have like a balaclava on or whatever. So that does it for tonight's questions. Hope you got some fun out of it, some laughs, some little acknowledgement about who I am and what I like doing about the project. And if you like what you see, let me know and we'll keep this up. But for now, I am going to throw some dinner in the oven, kick back, and watch something lazy, and hopefully get a good night's sleep tonight. But in the meantime, I'll have Cure for Wellness up, I'm hoping, this weekend, along with hopefully my review of Get Out, because that's coming out on Friday. I'm very excited. So until then, hope you guys have a wonderful evening, and I'll catch up to you all on the flip side, all right? Peace.